So what is a political party? Well, the members of the House of Representatives, that is, the lower house of government, more on that in class this week, are individually elected to represent constituents within each electoral division. In most cases, members belong to and support a political party. Anyone can join a political party, but there are conditions which must be met in order to form one. For example, the party must have a written constitution. It must also aim to achieve the election of members to the House of Representatives or the Senate. And it must have either 500 members whose names appear on the electoral roll, or have at least one member who is a current member of federal parliament. Joining a political party demonstrates you are committing to a certain set of ideas and principles about how the nation should be governed. Naturally, not everyone in a party agrees with each other about every single policy proposed. Think back to where individuals sit on that political spectrum. Last week's lecture pods discussed ideologies. So within the Liberal Party itself, there are groups that are more closely aligned with the liberalism of John Stuart Mills and those who are closer to Edmund Burke's conservatism. Naturally, this creates tensions within the party, most notably during the same-sex marriage debate, when advocates of individual freedom clashed with those who believe in conserving traditional marriage. Because of this, political parties are good examples of our country's diverse and vibrant democracy, which allow for a variety of different viewpoints to be aired. Australian politics uses a two-party system. Basically means that at any given time, there will be two major parties that dominate the political landscape. Between the two, the party with the most votes is the governing party, while the other is referred to as the opposition party. There are three main parties represented in the House of Representatives. Our oldest party, the Australian Labor Party, the Liberal Party of Australia, and the Nationals. Since 1949, the Liberal Party and the Nationals, when forming government, have done so as a coalition. This means the two parties have come together with a view to achieve a majority in Parliament. Obviously, for this to work, both parties must share common philosophies and policies. So you'll often hear of the Liberal Party and the Nationals being referred collectively as the coalition. If you're studying this unit in 2020, the coalition is led by Scott Morrison and has been leading the nation since 2019's federal election. Smaller parties are also represented in federal parliament. Parliamentarians who are not part of a political party are known as independents. You may have already heard of some of these minor parties and independents. The One Nation Party is a well-known example, which stemmed from former independent Pauline Hanson. Other parties you've likely heard of are the Greens or the Shooters and Fishers Party. There's more obscure ones, such as the Sex Party, Animal Justice Party, and the Pirate Party. All of these parties have aims they want to achieve and policies worth reading up on, because they're not often as salacious as they sound. Be sure to do this week's reading, which requires investigating party policies to inform your first assessment, the written reform. In the final lecture pod for this week, you'll hear from Monica Tan, a former member of the Greens, as well as a history teacher at the college. She'll be discussing why she became involved in a political party, as well as the demands of her role.